In high school, many things reside in the realm of the near future: the next exam, the next assignment, or the next class period. It is, however, important to remember that there is life beyond the tiled hallways.
Today, we will look at the Riverhill alumni through a series of exclusive interviews to discover what their experiences were like at Riverhill, how Riverhill set them up for the future, and how it has changed over the many years.
Riverhill High School was planned to be the 12th of the Howard County high schools. However, before it could be opened, it was needed for another purpose. Wild Lake High School, built in 1971, desperately needed renovations as the building was extremely outdated.
In order to accommodate these renovations, the county sent Wild Lake students to the newly constructed Riverhill High School, while Wild Lake was demolished and rebuilt.
Although technically a part of Wild Lake High School, the Wild Lake class of 1995 spent their senior year at the Riverhill building. I'm here today with Mrs. Petotsky, who graduated from the Wild Lake class of 1995, but attended her last year of high school at Riverhill High School. So, can you tell me about that?
Sure. So when I was a junior in high school, they knocked down Wild Lake High School and decided they were going to build a new one. So while they built the new one, we were students at Riverhill, and I believe it was for 2 years.
The first years the building was open.
Yes, yeah, but they were just open for us. There were no current Riverhill High School students.
What was that like, being in a different building for the last year of high school, but with all the same students?
It was different. I mean, the school was much bigger than Wild Lake, much newer. Wild Lake really didn't even have any windows. So coming to Riverhill, where there were deer like in the yard outside the school, it was a totally different just environment. It was a little sad, like that we were leaving the school that we had known for the first 3 years and having to graduate from somewhere else. But it was really nice to be there.
Okay. Do you think most of the students enjoyed being at a different school?
I think there were some people who would rather have stayed at Wild Lake, and it was much farther for us to go than it would have been to stay at Wild Lake. But it was nice that we were all together. It wasn't like we got split up. It was really just they moved the whole school to a new building.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Ever since Ms. Petotsky graduated from Riverhill, thousands of Hawks have graduated from here over its 26-year-long history.
For most alumni, their high school experiences are more recent than Ms. Petotsky, still fresh in their minds, earning a degree in college.
Students in college have varying opinions on their high school experience, some viewing the experience as preferable to college, while others are grateful for the freedom that college provides. Could you just briefly introduce yourself, with things like, when did you graduate from Riverhill, what are you doing now, things like that?
Of course. I'm Alex, Alex O. I go to Vanderbilt University right now, and I graduated in 2021, and I'm majoring in electrical engineering right now.
Was there any particular moment, experience, even like a specific person who really, significantly shaped you in some way, like during high school?
First of all, in terms of decision-wise, I felt like there wasn't really much that affected me for my decision on where I decided to go, but it really affected how I'm doing here. I'd say that's a big part of it, because as a whole, our high school, it's pretty good at preparing us for college in general, and there's a lot of courses that really challenge you, and I think as a whole, the classes at Riverhill were just as hard as some of the classes I take here, and I think most people would say that for most schools as well, not just my school. And it's nice to come in prepared and really be on top of things, because then you can focus on other things outside of school as well. So,
Would you like to talk about how your Riverhill experience affected, adversely or otherwise, your college experience, really anything at all? Maybe even your decision of what college to go to?
that's a good question. The thing is, I can say each of my, every single one of my teachers did help me a lot. Even if I did not feel like I was learning that much in the class, there were still a lot of things I took away from it. And the one, it's hard to pinpoint one moment, really, or one specific class in general, but just everything that you learn throughout high school and everything that I learned from each of my classes really just added up. Especially for me in engineering, I can say, between all my science and math courses, all the teachers I had really they were phenomenal. Like, and even in college, like I'm like, wow, I still go back to all this information. I still remember it. It's more like it's not a matter of remembering it at this point. It's that I know it, and if you take high school seriously and really work and do what the teachers tell you to do, like do your homework, study for your tests and exams, like you'll be perfectly fine. And that's really it's not as much of a single moment, but it's like the culmination of doing all of that together, and that really makes the difference in college. So
2020 and 2021 will be remembered as anything but typical school years. For these classes, senior year took place during the coronavirus pandemic, where they missed out on many of the traditional activities that accompany senior year.
We now go to an interview with Caitlin Burnett, a senior during the 2020 pandemic. What was your experience like at River Hill?
There's a lot of academic pressure at River Hill. It always feels like you're competing with other people, but I found a family in the arts community, and that was my happiness at River Hill.
Was there any one experience that stuck out to you?
Definitely performing in the school shows. I really liked being with my friends and performing for my peers. That was fun.
How did River Hill set you up for college?
The AP English class I took was a big help with writing my essay, and that's the biggest help I can remember. I was never specifically guided by anyone. I feel like the essay was the biggest element that we got help with, but then everything else was kind of up to us with guidance from like our favorite teachers.
All right, thank you.
Of course, many alumni look back at their years at River Hill fondly, some more so than others.
Some River Hill alumni are glad that their time is over, while other alumni return to teach the new generation and educate the minds of the new class at River Hill.
Do you want to sit?
No,
and
it's
do
fine. It's
Is
fine.
it okay?
It'll be really good.
All right.
So do you want to just like introduce yourself to like people who might be watching and might not know who you are?
Sure. Hi, my name's Kelly Song. I am a biology teacher here at River Hill.
Fantastic. Okay. How would you say like your experiences at River Hill impacted, your decisions or like your life going forward?
I think I was a part of the teaching academy here when I was a student, so I figured teaching was kind of the direction I wanted to go. So I went to Towson, and I ended up with an internship and student teaching opportunity in Howard County. So the goal was always to be somewhere in Howard County, ideally back at River Hill, just since these are kind of the roots. So I did 5 years previously at another Howard County school, and then got the opportunity to come to River Hill. So I kind of jumped on that opportunity to come back.
Okay, that's really interesting. Is there like a particular reason besides like that you just went to school here that you decided to come back to River Hill, or is it?
I've been coaching soccer for like over 9 years, almost 10 years now. So it's nice to be able to kind of keep an eye on the kiddos that I coach, and also being able to kind of have access to them all year long instead of just during the soccer season. So coaching's important, as well as kind of being able to kind of check in on see how the kids are doing throughout the year. So that was kind of a focus for me.
Definitely. Okay. To sort of, end out the interview, is there any like particular experience or like moment that, or like even like a person from River Hill or otherwise that really like impacted you in any way, really?
I mean, there were a lot of, and there currently are a lot of great teachers here. I think one person that sticks out is definitely Miss Topis. So she retired last year, but she's kind of one of the first teachers I think of when I think about River Hill and my experience. I had her in 9th grade, so a long time ago, but still be able to like think about what I did in her class and remember her and kind of the impression and impact that she made is definitely, I think, a key figure in kind of the River Hill community that I think of when I think of teachers and just my experience.
Throughout its long history, River Hill has graduated thousands of students who have gone on to do great things. The students graduating this year are the next generation in this long line of successful alumni.
Sometimes it feels like high school will never end. However, our time here is limited, so enjoy it while it lasts.